ma'am, but two things can be true at the same time,
At
and
the
that
same
is true.
time. At the same time. Yes, 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 yes. Well, obviously, y'all know me, and I
Mhm.
have the privilege and honor of leading us through our Build Your Business activity today, which I'm really, really excited about. So a few
Yay!
things before we get started, because I don't want to be talking a hole in y'all's ears or heads. Um, who in here has the wonderful audacity to think I could run a business? That is half the battle. I think all of y'all know for the most part that I was a high school teacher and I was just trying to figure my life out when I came back to Virginia. And I hit the ground running and I was applying for all these jobs left and right. And I say this in the most humble way, but I have 3 degrees, a bachelor's in mass communication, a master of arts, and in liberal arts, and then the third one is a master of arts in teaching. And for some reason, growing up, I just always thought as long as I have these degrees, I will be successful. I'll be able to get a job. I'll be able to get the big house. I'll be able to get all the things I want because I have these degrees. Well, that took an interesting turn when I moved back home and I was applying for jobs left and right. And the jobs that I was applying for were jobs that I know that I'm capable of doing. They were activity coordinator positions. I was a whole teacher. So if I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to plan. And then one time, out of just like irritation and desperation, I applied for a job at Starbucks. And when I got turned down from Starbucks, I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. What is happening? And so I just had this conversation with someone the other day, and I said, if it wasn't for my faith, I would have lost my mind because I'm not understanding why I'm hitting all of these brick walls when I have all of these credentials and I also have work experience. And I have an awesome best friend who y'all know who has always been kind of planting just things in my ear and in my head and in my spirit that there's more than one way to do something. And I remember one time I was on the phone with her and she read me from A to Z in the most loving way. And she said, "You are not stuck." And I was like, "But I am though." I didn't say it to her, but I was thinking, but I am. I'm really stuck because I don't know what to do. So fast forward to when I get home, I had two things going. I had a job at One Life teaching Zumba. My Zumba license was $40 a month, and I was making 18 per class at One Life. And then I got another gig, teaching gig, fitness teaching gig, doing chair fitness. And so it was in that moment when I started, my wheels started turning. Something is happening. God clearly is trying to push me into another direction. And what is that direction? And what does it look like? So then I just started to like run with it and just started getting all these classes. And I'm not gonna lie, even that first, let me see, because I got here in June. So from June to December, it was still kind of interesting because I'm trying to find more classes, still trying to put the pieces together. And it was in that moment where the wheels kind of just started to turn a little bit, just a little bit. Like, what could this look like if I did it on my own? And if you are like me, I can tell you the vision. I can say, I want A, B, C. I want it to look like this. It's going to be named this. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I can tell you the whole vision, but when it's time to actually execute it, that's where I get stuck. And I get what's called the burnout phase because I don't know what to do. So I want to wrap that part up by saying if you have the what's the word I want to use? If you have the audacity to think that I could do something on my own, that is a wonderful place to be because that's how all these other companies did it. Somebody had the audacity to say, I'm going to do this. That's what McDonald's did. We're going to make burgers. That's what Burger King did. Even though McDonald's was making burgers, they said, we're going to make burgers, but we're going to do it our own way. And then somebody said, oh, we're going to make pizza. And then somebody said, oh, you making pizza? We're going to make pizza too, but we're going to do it this way. Then somebody said, we're going to do tacos. And so I'm using food because I like food, I like to eat. But that's how all these companies that we are going to buying things from, it all started with somebody saying, I have the idea and I want to make this a thing. So you're in the right thinking space. Now I want to just push us a step further into what's for me is the burnout or like the scary phase because you're thinking, well, who am I to have this big idea and will people actually support it? But I'm here to tell you that people will support it. They will. You just got to do your part and put it out there. I was following this girl named Euro Kelsey. She rode from California all the way to Hawaii. And I think her initial plan was to make it in 90 days. She did it in, it was either 42 or 45 days. And she broke records. She broke the men's record, and there was a team that did it, and she did it by herself. And that girl is just like in my head because one of her last videos before she made it there, she was saying, my goal in doing this is because this was my scary thing. And I actually did it and I'm almost complete with my scary thing. So I want you to find your scary thing and I want you to go out and do it because you can do it. So amazing. I mean, when she made it, I was crying. I said, "Oh my goodness, you would think I know the girl." The way I was bawling and boo-hooing, but it was just so inspiring to see. And so that's what I want to kind of drop into our spirit and our minds today is it scary to do? Yes, but we can do scary things, especially when we have all of this wonderful community, this support, and we have tools to help us get it done. We don't have to wait for someone to come and say, okay, hey, I got this opportunity or I got all the money in the world. Tell me what you want to do. Not to say that that can't happen, but when they come, what do we have to show them? This is my idea. These are the things that I have in place. What can we do with it? So, with that being said, Miss Carol and Miss Shannon, they have been very, very wonderful in introducing me to this idea of AI. So my sister actually introduced me to Chat GPT. It was a couple years ago. She came down to Tennessee and then she was like, girl, have you seen this AI tool? And then she like showed me how to do it, but I was not using it in the way that I use it now. And then as time progressed, I just learned all these cool things that you can use it for. And then it's still progressing because we can use it for a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of things. So I want to show you just some ideas of things that I've used here recently. Do I share my screen? Let's see. Yep. Okay. So the first thing, can y'all see my screen? Yes. Okay. Woo, woo. All right. The first thing that I used it for is a business plan because I've heard that you need a business plan. And your business plan is like your roadmap. What's the name of the business? What is the purpose? What are your objectives? What's your target market? What's the services you're going to offer? And even if you say, well, I'm not quite there yet, that's fine, but jot out some things that you want to do. So I am a life coach. So I knew that I wanted to incorporate that into my business. So my business is called Hydrated and Healed. And I knew that I wanted to help people and build community. Now, what that looked like, I didn't know. I'm also a creative, so I have all these ideas. And even though some people may say, well, just find one thing and you stick to that, I feel like whenever somebody tells me that, there's something in me that is just like swinging back saying, no, that's not my model. I'm not saying that it's not a good model, but it's not the model that works for me because I have so many things that I want to do. And these things are all helping me with my goal, which is to help people, serve people, and build community. So for me, I went into ChatGPT, which I'm going to show us, and I put what I wanted to do. I said, help me come up with a business plan. The name is Hydrated and Healed. I want to serve people, build community, and I want to do that through fitness, life coaching, and lifestyle content. And so I put that in there and then it generated this for me. And I said, this is good. Let me copy paste and save it. So that way I can go back and use it. So if you look here, so it's got the name, it says empowerment through life coaching, fitness, and wellness. And then it gives me a summary, business objective, target market, services offered. So it's just a nice, just little roadmap to everything that I want to incorporate in my business. Then it says it has a revenue model because of course we want to make money and it doesn't have to be from one stream. I don't know why five is my number, but I want to have five streams of income. So there's all these different things that I could do, marketing strategy, operational plan, all the things that I'm really not thinking about detail for detail in running a business. Super, super helpful. And I have a hand. Yes, ma'am.
Angel, can you check your tabs to make sure we're looking at your business plan? Because we see Patreon. Well, at least
Oh,
I do.
okay. How do I do it?
You might have to unshare and then share on the next tab over.
Okay, let me see. Stop.
And then click on your chat and then share. I think you picked up the specific tab you were working in.
Oh, okay. And then go back here. So just have open the thing that I want you to see, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I see it. There we
All
go.
right now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it big enough for y'all to see? Okay, nice. So I'll go back through that really quickly. So we got the name, hydrated and healed, the services that I want to offer. So empowerment through life coaching, fitness, and wellness. Um, then it gives me an executive summary, business objectives. So again, like all the things that I'm not even thinking about on a broader perspective. I just know I have a business idea and what I want to do and how I want to do it. So this was really helpful. If I would have sat down and did this like on my own, I probably would have got burnt out after hydrated and healed just because I am the visionary when it's time to execute that it just does something to me. So I am very thankful that I do have access to these tools because it can help push it along, push that ball along so that way it's no longer an idea, it's actually a thing that's happening in motion. And so here we got services offer. I knew I wanted to be a life coach. I knew I wanted to have fitness programs. So at the time I was Zumba certified. I have a Chair One fitness certification. I'm vegan, so I knew I wanted to help people take a closer look at what they're eating because I know that food plays a big part in not just our physical health, but also our mental. And then with life coaching, I wanted to help people the same way that I did in the classroom. Obviously, not teaching them sociology and understanding the world around them, but helping people kind of push through whatever it is that they're wanting to push through. And then the money, because we want to make some money. So that was very helpful. And then how am I going to market? How am I going to get it out there? And how do people know what I'm doing? And then it had operational plan. So what that will look like on the day to day, whether it's finding contracts to do with classes. I do like this other one that I haven't looked at in a while, but it said partner with certified professionals in nutrition and wellness. So I teach for where I have a contract with it's a doctor's office, and they plan all these activities. So even though I'm teaching chair and line dancing, I wonder what that conversation would look like if I say, hey, I wanted to offer like a nutrition class or teach people how to make vegan recipes. Because I know they have it. And because I already have my foot in the door there, like that could be a nice way of exposure. So also a business plan, it kind of helps to just open it up. Because I know I want to serve people and build community, but how can I do that outside of the two things I know, which is fitness and life coaching? Any questions so far? This did not take long for AI to generate at all. I'm talking seconds. So it's not like you have to put it in and then step away and then wait for an email to come. It it tells you literally in seconds. Does anyone have a business plan? Maybe when we start our
I was
build your
trying to
business.
find, I was trying to find the unmute. Sorry.
Ah, you're fine.
I don't have a business plan. I am learning in the beginning stages of AI, and at first I was kind of like, I don't want to do it, but now that I've gotten into it, I do like it a lot. It has helped me with a lot of stuff, business and personal. So I want to do one today, so because one of my questions is, with everything that's going on, how do I keep my business going and still maintain the current status that I am in as a caregiver? That's the biggest thing right now. That's not stopping me from doing it. It's just putting it on the hold right now because so many things have evolved since I've gotten into this status with my daughter that I never would think would happen. So I haven't given up. I'm just trying to figure out how can I do this and still run my business and still do what I need to do for her. That's the key right there. That's where I'm stuck. So I'm gonna have to
Mm.
ask them that when I start planning, when AI starts doing the business plan, how I can incorporate it and still flow and still keep my mental frame right here.
Yeah. That's good. And I think too, it could also help you in offloading a lot of the mental space to put
Mhm.
into creating it. Because if you would have said, Angel, get you a pen and paper and go sit down and write out a business plan, I probably would have been able to come up with maybe a few bullet points
Mhm.
in terms of like marketing, who I wanted to reach, some avenues. But I like that AI because it did mention some of the things that I would have thought of, but it also took it a step further and
Okay.
gave me things that I hadn't thought of.
Okay.
So I think it'll be a great tool because you don't have to put too much thought into it outside of help me come up with a step-by-step plan and how to make income in 30 days. And then
Mhm.
it'll map it out. And then it'll say, mine says, if you like, I can put it into a weekly format. And then you can just like go and check it off. And that has been really helpful because I just don't have the time to
Mhm.
sit and map it out like that because my head is all over here doing all the things, managing the classes, managing the juice. So that might be helpful too. And it may make it a little more, I don't know if fun is the word that I want to use because it's
Yeah.
not as like
Stressful.
stressful. Yeah. It's like, okay, this
Right.
is something that I want to work on and I'm trying to push the ball or get the ball rolling. and I could use this. It's like an assistant.
Yeah, something like I've been for everybody else, and now I need one.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
was
want to
good.
jump in here, but somebody is now deciding to do some loud noise. I don't know if y'all hear that noise. I
Oh,
can, you
Oh,
can
I
hear.
don't hear it.
Oh
I'll
Mm-mm.
Lord.
hear.
Hold on one second. I really wanted to address that question about starting a business. Yeah, hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. Okay. Starting a business. When I started, the Mocha Cup is actually an offshoot from the original company that I created called ASI Wellness. I mean, it's ASI Healthcare Inc. And that's the parent company. And I want to say that that was started 27 years ago because I was up feeding my baby at 1 in the morning, and I thought, what else can I be doing with this time? You know, the little ADHD brain starts running, and the little squirrel starts running and saying, "Girl, this is lovely. He's enjoying his little self, but you could be doing something else." And so because there was that time that was carved out every night for months, you know, just getting up in the middle of the night and feeding and making sure it was okay and all the things, that was a carve out time. And of course, needless to say, this was before AI, so there was no real business plan per se at first. It was more of a just get up and let's see what we can pull together. And so following the passion, there's nothing wrong with that. I think now that we have AI, now that there are structural things in place, it supports us and helps to escalate and you know um give us speed in terms of how fast we can get to the next level, as opposed to how it used to be prior to before AI. So this is a really interesting dilemma because new moms, women who are in the workplace and just trying to figure out how can I pivot off of this track that I'm on onto a new track, and you know where's the intersection there. It's about carving out that time. It's about finding that time and saying, okay, here are all of my obligations. These are the things I must do. But where do I have time for myself? Where do I have time where I can just kind of, so it might be inconvenient, but it might be one of those things where you get up a little earlier, or I wouldn't say go to bed a little later, although some people, my brain will come alive at night as in the morning, so it doesn't really matter. But finding a time that where your creative juices are really flowing, and this is your time. You can carve it out. You can say, I'm going to make sure I get up maybe an hour or 2 hours before, or I'm going to, go to bed a little bit later, and I'm going to just take some time at the end of my day to pour into. If I just pour in a X amount of time each and every day, that cumulative effect of the consistency of effort begins to really give you the momentum to really go. And then one day you wake up and you're like, oh, stuff has been happening while I wasn't, it turns a corner where it's no longer you pulling the business into reality. The business wakes up and it's already running ahead of you. And you realize, oh, it's got its own life now. It's like, okay, it's holler. I got to chase behind it now. It's just interesting in the way that it takes life and it takes on its own energy and momentum. So, when you talk about finding the space, yes, you will continue to find ways to continue to do the things that you're obligated to do, and making sure that you're doing those well. Taking care of yourself is part of that, but also recognizing that if I have some downtime, or finding when your creativity juices flow best. Because I find also that if you're trying to work on something and you find yourself pushing yourself at a time when your brain really does not work that well, like 3 in the afternoon, you're just sitting there looking at the camera and the camera's looking at you. Like, you go ahead and find that time when your creative juices flow best. If that's 1 a.m., if it's, if it's early in the morning, if it's late at night, but start to pay attention to the creative juices that flow through you and lean into that. That's the least resistance path of getting to where you're trying to go. So those are just a couple of things to think about. But know that even with the things that you're currently doing, you have one foot in reality in today, and you have one foot into tomorrow. And recognize that that's going to take an extra level of energy to get used to. But at some point, you will do it so much, that's just how you flow. At first, it will feel very draining, but after a while, you'll start to see the progress of it, and you'll say, okay, I've got capacity to be able to split my energy into making sure everything's maintained in this day, in this life, and this current day, And then also I have a little extra for tomorrow. And then after a while, tomorrow and today merge, and you come up with, oh, the reality of my job, that my business that was just an idea is now competing or coming into the reality of my day to day. And now those two things move. So,
That is funny, and then I'll stop let somebody else ask questions. I'm glad that you said that because the morning is filled with taking care of her stuff. But I've noticed that I stay up at night now, and thank you for the business plan because I'm going to work on that for real today. At night, in the evening time, I find myself doing things for myself and getting things done. So even if I go to bed at 11 or 12, I still can get up and maintain because my body, and I am taking better care of myself because I got to be right physically to do all of this stuff. So I'm glad that both of you brought this up. So this is good. So I can start working on this right away. Thank you. Thank you both. I'm going to start on that today. Today.
And I think you will find it to be very inspiring because it's time that you're actually like you're watering your garden. Like you have a seed, and then when you start moving, like inching towards it, then it's like, man, I didn't even think I could do that. Oh man, I could do merch too. Man, that'd be cool. Oh, I can do digital resources too. Hmm. Okay. So it's like a nice feeding of your baby because you have this idea and you've had it, and I think you have it for a reason. And I also think that that's why the world is, you know, not to get into politics or anything, but I think that's just why the world is like that because I think that God is trying to tap us and he's like, look, yeah, this was nice for a season, but I need you to look at what else I have for you because it's not just the one thing. And that was my rut was, well, I was told to get a job. You get on the job, you stay at the job for umpteen years and you collect your 401k and your pension and all the things. And it's like, yeah, but what happened when that door doesn't open? You just gonna sit to the side and not not do anything? And I always say I'm just thankful that I had enough, like God put enough in me to just say, let me see. Let me see what can happen over here. And I am a firm believer that if I could do it, you totally could do it.
Hey, Angel,
Yes.
can you share with us the prompt that you used in ChatGPT to write your business plan?
Yes. Let me see. I gotta search for it because I did that one a while ago. Wow, before I show you that, I also want to show you um two other things that I use it for AI. Because I want to give it some work time too. Okay. So also I am like promoting my classes and doing all the things. Um, I am a creative person. I like to get in Canva and put the stuff together. But this particular time, I'm not going to say I didn't have it in me, but because I've just been seeing AI take off and doing all the creative things, I literally went into AI, I put in my logo, and then I said, help me to create a flyer. I can't remember the exact wording, but create a flyer to promote for. Oh, did y'all see that? I don't know if y'all saw the fireworks went off. Anywho, and then this is what it came up with. And then I also put to add a QR code to where clients can scan. And then it generated this. Are y'all able to see the flyer? Okay. So AI did this for me. I think I'm not for sure if I put the picture in. I may have, but I for sure put in the logo and life coaching and the QR code, and then it generated all the things. And if there's something that comes up there that you don't like, you can also go back in and edit. You can say swap out this picture and put in this picture, or swap out the I can help you and put something else. So that's neat too. And then the thing that I'm going to be working on today is my Patreon. So let me pull that up really quickly. Because in my Patreon, I have, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's like YouTube, but it's a way to make money. So you just put content up there, and then people have access to it. So they can subscribe, they can do a free membership, or they could do whatever kind of membership I want. So I went to, here we go. Can y'all see that? The Patreon?
Yes.
Okay. So I went to Patreon, and then if you look here, it says memberships, and AI helped me with that. So I have like 4 different tiers, and then each tier has something that the members can have access to. So one, you could get a 30-minute workout. One, you can get some challenges, like monthly challenges. You can get some merch. I do want to have merch up here one day. And then if you want to book a life coaching session. Now, again, as I said earlier, once I actually created the account, I didn't know how to use it. Like, okay, well, how do I draw people in? So right now, I have a free 30-minute workout. So when people log in, they have that. And then I also have some free line dancing tutorials. So my goal is to generate income from this. Because right now I have 42 people sitting here and they're active. Like they look at the videos and people constantly are joining it, but I'm not utilizing it in a way that I could. I'm not maximizing in this area. So that's what I'm going to work on today. I would definitely show you how I what I put in. So let me go back to the business one. Let me see if I could find
Your
search.
Patreon looks good, Angel.
Oh, thank you. Girl, that they be giving me a run for my money. I'm just kidding. Um, let's see. Mm, I'm probably gonna have to put in a new one because I'm looking for my chat history. So I'll just put in a new one. Let me see. 38A. Am I still sharing my screen?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, let me put that in. Oop, let me go back and share. All right, so there's 2 different ones that you can use. I've heard great things about. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I use Chat GPT. Claude is the other one that Carol and my sister has also told me about Claude too, and Shannon. So I went into Chat GPT here, and if you can see at the top, it says create a business plan for hydrated and healed. I use this a lot, and so the more and more you use it, it like knows you. So it'll say, like if you look at the first line, it says, based on what I know, hydrated and healed isn't just a juice business, and it's because I use it to like help me come up with juice recipes, or I'll say like what's the benefits of XYZ. So the more and more you use it, then it starts to become tailored to you. So initially when I did it, I want to say it said something along the lines of create a business plan for hydrated and healed. I want to serve people and build community. I do fitness and I'm also a life coach. And then that's what gave me the first one that I showed you in the beginning. So you can really put in what you want. I know that Shannon did a training where she's saying you could actually be like detailed in the wording because I've been seeing some posts that say basically don't just be basic is not the word that I want to use, but like kind of beef up what you're asking it because you could get different responses based on
Yep,
that.
100%.
So mine's the business plan. It says hydrated and healed. We have founder Angel Briley, mission statement, hydrated and healed, empowers people to nourish their bodies naturally through fresh juice, plant-based nutrition, movement, education, and faith-inspired wellness. Then it has my vision statement to become a trusted wellness brand that helps thousands of people heal from the inside out while creating multiple streams of recurring income through products, memberships, education, and community. So another thing that I had put in one time when I was playing around with this thing, so we had a model in the classroom that said we are catering to or nurturing the whole child, which means I don't just care about the content that I'm teaching you and whether you get it. I also care about your home life. I care about all the things that's affecting how you show up today. And so that's what I think about when it comes to my business. So yeah, I want you to come and work out, but then I also want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself emotionally and spiritually because all of those things shape how you are showing up.
Mhm.
So because I put that in there, like even it's nice in saying like just adding like those special touches, even though I just said, give me a business plan for hydrated and healed. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying. It tracks you is not the word because that sounds creepy. It just learns you and it adds like little sprinkles and hints of you the more and more you use it. So brand values, faith first, whole food healing, education over restriction, community consistency, simplicity, sustainable wellness. And then it has the problem, which this wasn't even on my first one, but I always ask people, are you drinking your water? Hence, hydrated and healed. I like that because you can't drink water one day and be hydrated. You have to do it every day. And healed is, it doesn't mean that I'm healed from everything, but every day I'm working on something that puts me in a better position to not be triggered or to not, as I like to say, be chopping people in the throat. So it's a daily work and you have to be intentional about it. You can't just be all relaxed and eating whatever you want and doing all the things. Um, so right here it says like the problem, if you want accountability, you need convenient, healthy options, don't know where to begin, or you're not drinking enough water. So like my company, I help people provide realistic solutions. I wouldn't have been able to come up with that last sentence. So AI definitely was like, "Oh yeah, let me add this to you and beep it up for you." So then a solution to that is I help people. I do juices, wellness education, seasonal challenges, plant-based recipes, fitness classes, community accountability, and then digital wellness resources. So also when I look at this, then it gives me other ideas. So digital resources. So something else that I'm about to start working on is recipes because I want people to be able to come to my website or my page and be able to say, "Oh, let me see what Angel is eating." So my favorite thing right now is a sweet potato smoothie. So like I'm gonna definitely put that in there and then I know how to go in and tweak it and put what I want to add or take away. So then you have your target audience because people always say, like, who are you serving? Which I always say, whoever wants some hydration and some healing, come this way. But if you are putting a business plan together, it is nice to have, like, okay, this is my target audience. I can help a variation of people, but this is my target audience. So again, just things that you don't think about when even trying to put a business plan together. So revenue stream. So how are we gonna make the money? Because that's what we want. We want to generate some income. So we got the juices, weekly subscriptions, monthly subscriptions. This is super cool because I have an uncle who orders juices every week. He like every week I want 7 juices. bring me seven. So it would be nice to have just something like kind of automated, whether it was on the website or whether it was, I don't haven't quite gotten that far, but do you see how it's like pushing my mind to think outside the box just a little bit more? Because if I have, because he pays 70 for his juices. So if I have five of those, there we go. And that's just one stream. So we got the wellness challenges. I did one where it was like you gotta drink full. I love Stanley cups, so you had to drink two full Stanley cups of water a day, and we were doing it for a week, no ice. And you'll be amazed at what people are interested in. Because initially I thought, ain't nobody watching this, but then I have people coming up to me saying, I drank my water. I drank my water today. So you never know who's waiting for your content, your products, your ideas. And then we got the memberships with Patreon, which I want to work on that. Um, digital products, we talked about that. The fitness part is already running. I got the contracts. The chair, line dancing. I also have people who will reach out and say, hey, I want to book you for an event. So that little ball is rolling. We got corporate wellness. I have thought about going to schools because I used to be a teacher, so it would be nice to even get there and like do a motivation speech to kind of get them ready and pumped up for the year, and then kind of go in midway. And then if they wanted me to, right at the very end, where they like, I'm tired of you and you, I'm done. So that would even be nice. And just like being able to go in and offer something like for the teachers. So think about the places where you work and how you could turn that to where instead of them, paying you to work for them, they're paying you because they're booking you, which is a completely different dynamic, different conversation for a different session. Some speaking engagements I definitely would like to do. Merch is something that I'm wanting to do. T-shirts, cups, pens, notebooks, all the things. It gives me a marketing strategy on what to say. If you look where it says Wednesday, what they said Wednesday, that's something that I got from um AI because I have all this content and I was just trying to figure out how to do it. So like that's a nice way to keep pushing out content. Those contents will bring in new followers, and when those new followers come, they can click on my link and they can go and click whatever they want to do to buy. Because if Kroger and McDonald's and what's that high-end store? Chanel and Louis Vuitton, if all them could get the coins, why can't we? Just saying. All right, and then I'm talking too long. Let me hurry up so we can work. So yeah, it's just a nice, healthy like wealth of information to help you get it going. I know initially this could be like overwhelming because you're like, oh my goodness, I had to think about all that for a business plan, but it's so detailed. Anything that you missed, here it is. And if there's something that you want to add to this, you could add. So I could go here and say, oh, help me get started. Tell me where to start. And then it would say, all right, week one, do this. Week two, do this. Week three, do this. And this is new because this wasn't even on my last one. Financing goals. So year one, juices, 2,000 a month. And I'm gonna tell y'all this one little thing. When I started doing juicing, I was like, well, I could just do like 20 juices a week. And the lady who was doing my nails was like, why are you limiting yourself? How many juices could you really bring in? Could you make? All right. So fitness, the Patreon, just showing you all the money that I could roll in. That says a monthly goal of 5,700, which that sounds real nice. Real nice. And you could tweak it, add some more things. Your price could increase or decrease however you want to set like your financing. So even if I'm just fresh out the gate starting year one, 68,000, that ain't bad. So super, super helpful. This year two, then look at that year two, y'all. 150,000. So it just gets your mind going. I am cracking up. passion with a smiley face and all the things. I have said a lot, right? So here, let me keep scrolling real quick so we can see it all. So you got long-term vision, 3 to 5 years, because obviously my body can only handle so much. I do hope that the Lord will send me a man one day and I'll be able to have some babies. So when that happens, obviously I can't be teaching 8 classes a week. That might be a little much. I might could do it in the beginning, but then it may be like too much. So then long term, what could I do to where I'm still generating income? And let me tell you what really made my eyes just light up where it says published cookbook. Could totally do that. Online wellness academy or wellness retreats. We talked about that at the last um, Saturdays at the Mocha Cup. So there's just all these ideas, and it's just exciting. It's super exciting. We got SMART goals, the next 90 days, launch simplified 3-tier Patreon, which I'm gonna work on that today. Release your first vegan recipe collection. Introduce a weekly juice subscription. Grow your email list by 200 subscribers. Sell 25 digital products. So even that right there, like if I don't know where to start, which I could go back in and type, tell me where to start, give me a 90-day plan of action, and it would map it out for you. But do you see how it's like kind of pushing you in that direction? So here's what you gave me. I gave you detailed what to do or what this could be. Now let me help you with how to do it. So Miss Joyce, one of those nights when you say, man, I'm up and I just kind of feel like doing something, you could easily go back to that. Okay, let me see. What do I have capacity for today? Well, if I'm posting consistently 5 to 7 times per week, have I posted some content? Let me go do that. So then
I
you just
see.
check
I
that
got
off.
I got you.
Can
Um,
I add one other thing too? And that is that as you move through your plan, recognize that something that you said earlier, Angel, about being the visionary, about having the vision. And then when you see all of the things, you get kind of maybe overwhelmed, like, okay, well, I'm good at seeing the vision, but I'm not exactly sure about how to do the marketing or how to do the thing or how, and it becomes like, oh, well, I need other people to do that. Um, to your point about being able to go back and ask AI to show you how to do things step for step so that you can then learn how to do some of those things, that is a great opportunity. But also within the Mocha Cup, we are creating within a Canva environment some of the templates that you can access to help you make some of those, let's say, digital products or flyers or things of that nature so that you have a creative space. And also within this community, I want you to feel supported. So this isn't just, us just kind of talking and chatting. This is your community where if you are struggling with a part of this process, that you can come and talk to some of us who have been through it, or talk or ask questions, or ask if someone is skilled at doing something so that you can get it done quickly. Yes, I can do a flyer, but it might take me 4 or 5 weeks, where somebody else knows how to do it in 2 or 3 hours and it's over. That this is that place. I want you to feel that the support in this space of helping you to tap into things that you may or may not be really good at, or but you don't have the time to pour into, and get the thing done and keep it moving and grow.
mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we'll negotiate payment for real, because oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna stay in touch with all of y'all for real.
hmm And I love that, not to put Carol on blast, but that's something that she has been working on me with, and that I've been just like slowly but surely want to speed up the pace in doing that, but just finding ways to where my hand doesn't physically have to be on it for it to succeed. I could still check it. I can still say, okay, this is what I would like, but it doesn't have to be me doing it. Perfect example was, so I juice and I go to the store and I get the products. And I don't know what it was, but there was something about me not being able to be in the store to grab the products and look at it and smell it and make sure everything was good. And last week, I did it for the first time. I placed a pickup order, and it was the best darn thing. All I had to do was pull up. Of course, I went in, downloaded the app, and it wasn't a bad fee. I think it was like $2.99, $3.99. So I, go in, place the order. I pull up, park in the spot. It says I'm here. And she brought it out to the car, and I did my little okay. I inspected it, made sure everything was fine. But that was like instead of it being an hour of my time, it was a nice little like 10 minutes tops.
Where
Like
has
not
this been all your life, right?
and then I said, I like this. I'm about to
Right.
everything pick up.
I think that's my problem, Angel, because I'm so used to doing everything and taking care of everything. And now the rest has shown me that I don't have to do everything, you know, because I'm like you, I
Exactly
want to
right.
be in the mix. I want to know. I
I
want to
gotta be
every,
there. I
yeah.
gotta
I
see
got
it.
my daughter got me a t-shirt saying I got it because that's always that. And she got me a t-shirt and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, I got the message too, right? But here's
So
the
I
other piece.
feel you. I feel you, Angel. I feel you. Yeah.
You as the visionary, you carry the weight of being able to do a lot of things. And yes, you can do all of the things, but what should you reserve your energy for is the greater, is the more intensive, the most creative. The spearhead of the vision and bringing that vision into reality is where you sit. All the things that come along with that to make that happen are the other hands that are creative and skilled at doing those things to help you make that thing happen. So, we talked about this in the last session about just because you can do it all doesn't mean that you should do it all. You should delineate and identify what needs your must have, your imprint, what must have your time and attention on it, and then allow yourself to step back and let people who do this every day for a living help you out and move it faster. So give yourself that kind of space and grace and to get that energy back so you can repurpose it back to what you are visioned for, what you are gifted in, and not just what you're able to do.
hmm And also too, being okay with that. Being okay with, okay, I didn't have to be in the store. Even though there's a part of me that wanted to be in the store, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't feel like going to the store because I'm tired of it. Ain't nobody getting no juice because if I go to the store one more time, I'm a scream. I don't even want to go to the store to buy my own groceries because I'm tired of being at the grocery store. So actually just sitting with, all right, I'm going to actually let them. Because here's the truth of the matter too. If they brought out a pineapple that I didn't like, I could just take it back in there. And that still is not 30 minutes, 45 minutes of my time of being in the store. And it's all right. It's all right, which is a hard little hard little thing to swallow. But, you know, I would rather, like Carol said, I would rather us put our energy and our focus to actually like watering the business baby and then finding those pockets where, okay, I don't necessarily have to be there to do this, but this is what I want. And if you find somebody, if sometimes you're like me and you're like, but worst case scenario, first of all, we need to think best case scenario. I could find somebody who would do it and it would be the absolute best thing that ever happened. If sometimes your overthinker, you who Carol told me to put a pack a bag, ship on a flight way over there. And sometimes she calls, she's like, well, what if it doesn't work out? If it doesn't work out, then you have the capacity to still move forward. It doesn't have to be the end of your business or whatever it is that you are working on. So I've said a lot. Does anyone have any questions? Because I do want to give us some time to actually play around with the tools. ChatGPT is not the only one. You could use Claude. Is that Claud? Okay, so you could use either or to play around with. Um, do we want to do because I think we had an hour to do it. Do we end at 2? I want to be respectful of people's time. So how about I'll just start the timer for 30 minutes. I'll check in
Yeah,
and
we end at 2, Angel.
okay, so let's do, I'm so sorry I was yapping and running my mouth. So I'll do 30 minutes, check in with us, see how we're doing. So in your 30 minutes, let's go build that business, whatever it is. I'm going to be working on how to grow my Patreon. And so the first thing I would like to do is to create a digital resource.
I'm going to be
Uh,
working on my business plan for real.
Woo! Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna work on my business plan also.
Yay!
Woohoo!
All right, so I'm gonna start our timer. We got 30 minutes. I will check in with y'all. I'm gonna leave my camera on. If anybody has a question, you need something, please feel free to be like, hey, can you help me with XYZ? Happy multi-millionaire in the making process. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Angel,
Yes,
would you
ma'am.
would you please put your prompt that you did for your business plan in the chat?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
By thinking about it, meat-based food
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, multimillionaires in the room. I'm just checking in on y'all. We have hit the 30-minute mark, and I wanted to see how y'all's progress is coming along. Are there any questions?
No questions from me, but it helped me also because in my plan, I asked for 90 days. But
Mm-hmm.
also in my plan, I asked them because I'm doing caregiving for my daughter and doing this too, how could I to give me some ideas on working with that? Because it did ask me the hours, how many hours I could do on specifically my plan and still take care of what I need to do for her. So it gave me not only information on that, it gave me resources to help me to help her.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yes. And it incorporated this as part of my mission and my purpose for my business too. That was a definitely plus. That's why it took me a minute to come on because I had to go through all of that. I was like, wow, things I didn't because I see, and I'm not going to take everybody's time because I know we're on time. I see
You all right?
caregiving, but most of it, even the questions and stuff in the resources, are tied over to people who are 60 and older. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to find resources that I can utilize for her because she's younger. You know, she's not like a child, but she's an adult, but she's younger. And it popped up. It just came up and stuff and still kept me within 90 days. And I said, let's go further than that. So I have that to start working on once I hit the 90-day mark. So yes. I was just like, wow, this is a lot. But it's good though, because if you don't ask, you don't know.
You don't know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, if I remember correctly, I know that you wanted to do life coaching, but
Yes.
I think your target audience was like, I know it was women.
Hmm.
And then did you say you wanted to do, did you have an open age range?
I had an open age range because I talked to Carol about that because I had specifically set a age range, but I'm finding out now about when I talk to other women, it's older, it's kind of like expanding out,
Okay.
from 30, maybe 40, and it's gone. So I'll say like 30 plus because you never know, because a lot of women out here won't don't even know who to talk to. So in
Hmm.
conversations, when I go to meetings and stuff, that's how I find out. So I left it open for now. But
I
I'm
want to
tackling,
encourage you to put
yeah,
all of that in there because what
I
you're going to see is that it's going to start blending the two, and it can also
yes,
give you ideas on how to cultivate what you're already doing and also turn it into some money making opportunities.
yes. Also, it mentioned part, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna stop. Um, I just lost it. Anyway, dang it, I lost it. But
Come back.
they talked about what I'm dealing with the life coaching to talk about grieving and
Mhm.
caregiving too, because of the fact that for most caregivers, again, it's going to the older population, but there are a lot of caregivers taking care of kids younger in that medium. So that's going to open it up even more for what I want to do. So I'm excited now. And I got a 90-day plan. And he extended it after the 90 days because I requested it so I could stay accountable. So, yeah,
Yay. I can see the excitement in your
yeah,
face and that like it took off a big old chunk of what it is because you have something that you want to do, but
yeah.
then it's a roadblock is not the word I want to use, but it
I
was like
know.
life is just happening right now. And so it kind of, and you may correct me if I'm wrong, you may feel like I don't even know where to start. But the fact that it gave you a 90-day plan, now you have quite a few options. Okay, I could start. I could do this. I could do today. I have capacities to do that. My energy's good. All right, let me tie into that. And even when you pick the first thing, if you get stuck, you just say, help me with step one, and then it'll
Yeah.
map it out for you there too.
I'm telling you, I mean, I was like, wow, things I hadn't even thought about because I'm like, what do I do? I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to work it out, and my mind just getting fizzled. So that helped me open my brain up a little bit more, and I take the stiffness, the stress off my shoulders because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is awesome. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Any other feedback?
Hey, Angel.
Hey, that's my sister.
So I went and worked back on my I hadn't looked at my business plan in a minute, but I dropped some prompts in the chat, but I did go back and ask it kind of like what opportunities could I be leaving on the table based on everything that I've used? Like, is there anything that I'm not, because just help me think bigger, basically. And it
Thank
came
you
back
for
with a
that.
lot
I
of
love
different,
that.
yeah, it absolutely it helped me think of through a couple of things a bit differently, um, and just giving it a different perspective. So I thought that was super helpful. I'm trying to go back to exactly what it said, but it said where it's like, hey, it had pointed out where I was underselling. It gave feedback like on my pricing structure. And I was like, well, what feedback? And it's like, well, you said you're just starting out, but based off of what you've uploaded or shared, you're further ahead than what you think. And so it's like helping you think, like holding up that mirror in terms of, no, like you actually should be it gave some feedback on ideas of where you should price or and this is why and here's what I'm basing that off of and things like that. So that's what I got out of it. It was super helpful.
I love
And I
that.
love that too.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I love that because again, it gives you that extra because I'm pretty sure when you read it, there was something in you that was like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
because we tend to, I can see how it could be easier because we feel like, oh, I'm just starting out. But somebody said something to me one day, and that thing has stuck with me. She said, this may be your first time doing it in this seat, but you are not new to this by any means.
That's
You've
so
been in
good.
the game, you was teaching Zumba, you was in the classroom teaching, now you're just teaching seniors. You've never taught seniors, but you know how to teach.
Very true. Very true. I also want to speak to that notion of like this thinking large and thinking big. When I was right before COVID happened, I had some interns that I was always trying to push them like to the next level. Like, okay, this is what you see before you, this is where you are, but I want you to also think of yourself as this product that you can, you know, take to the next level. And I said to them, this online business, you need to really lean into that because that's an opening door. And they were like, oh, yeah, Miss Davis, oh, yeah, Miss Davis. And then COVID happened. And it was like, okay, had you thought then about just putting yourself out there just a little bit and developing that, they would have been able to pivot a lot easier. And so, what I'm saying in this moment is think outside of the box, which is your location. And we all know the World Wide Web and all that, but there are other countries in which you can tap into. Think about a product that you can sell worldwide. Think about how you can take what you do and your passion and just do the kind of cursory kind of exploration of like, well, what would this look like in if I were to scale this to a market outside of US, if I were to scale this to a currency outside of USD, what would that look like? And explore and see what kind of answers you get. I promise you that there are multiple parallel worlds, universes that are happening in different countries and different areas that are near you, but very different than what you're doing. And so always be thinking about that next layer, that what might be happening outside of the US and our experience and what we come to know as this is just how things are. And we kind of assume that this is kind of how the world works. And then when you step outside of it, you realize, like, wow, there's a whole lot of other places that operate a lot differently and are opportunities for me to be able to, like, without a whole lot of extra effort. It seems big because it's like way out there, but think of it, and ask the questions. I think that the other piece is that we don't always ask the right question. We think about, well, how am I supposed to do that? When you ask the right question, which sounds more like, what resources exist for me to be able to do something different like this? What exists out there? What services, what supports, what companies, what what resources are out there, because there are some resources that can help you do this thing on a different layer or a different level in a different place. And it just completely change the way you see yourself, not just being kind of closed in and captured by where you are, but being able to break out of that box and run. Okay, fine, I can run it here. And I'm dealing with the limitations of that, but I also am running it over there. And there's a whole lot of freedom in doing it a different way. So just wanted to drop that seed in your thoughts, in your heart, so you can just kind of germinate. And then next thing you know, you can be looking up like, oh, that looks like an international opportunity. And you never know where that might take you.
Yeah, I was about to say thank you for planting the seed in our
Mhm.
minds for thinking outside of the country that we're in and just broadening. Because some things I don't even know unless God literally drops it in my spirit. Certain things I would not even think about until someone in my circle says, did you think about something a little bit, outside of my realm or something I've never interacted with before or has never come across my desk, so to speak. And I did want to tell a funny story. I know we're wrapping up, but Angel and I taught a fitness class at the same place, but Angel was there like 2 weeks before I was there. She did chair class, and I also did chair class, but hers was, I think you did your chair one, right, Angel?
Mm-hmm.
More like cardio, and I did yoga. And when I was on my way, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be an easy $100, right? It was like, and Angel said, $100. And I was like, yeah, $100. I'm going to go out here and give them a little 30 minutes. And she said, sis, that is not the price. I was like, what? What's the price? And she said, I charge them 150 for 30 minutes. You need to charge them 150. And I was like, oh shoot, I messed up. I only charged them $100. And she said, sis, next time you go back, this is the price. You're gonna charge them 150. And if I take the price up, then we're gonna charge them whatever the new price is. I was like, oh, okay, not you bossing me around. I'm with it.
That sounds like a shakedown.
Listen, she was so serious too. That she says
Yes, she
that is
was.
not the price. I said, oh, oh. And you know what's funny? When I took this gig, because Angel referred them to me for yoga, I believe Angel told me what she was going to charge. And in my mindset of not like being elevated in the moment, I kind of shrunk back and I was like, and I did something a little bit different, but she really challenged me. And, first of all, thank you, Angel. And also back to the planting of the seeds in each other's lives as a community and as a friend group. It's like we need to push each other to think bigger and be audacious when we are doing all the things because we can have what we ask for. We just need to ask and stop being scared. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to say. Amen.
A- Amen.
Amen.
One more thing I want to say, but and on your sister, what your sister's now, I probably pronounce your name wrong, so forgive me, not my head, not my heart, my head. And I have been coaching people for free. He didn't
Get
know
Angel
that.
on your phone line. Get her, Angel. Get her.
So what I'm going to do, what he suggests, is have them do a write-up testimony so I can introduce myself and conduct a 20-minute discovery card or call or something like that to start my business. And he also says when I go into my next days, 91 days, to start venturing out to panels, to health fairs and stuff like that to introduce myself. I need help from to do the flyers and all of that so I can start my business up and I can still do what I can for her and still do stuff for me. And I never thought about that because I talked to Carol about, I'm always talking to someone. They're always dialing me up. Sometimes I put them on hold, let them leave a message until I'm ready to deal with them. So I'm going to reach out to them today because I need some testimonials to get my business started. And right then and there, I'm like, dang, I'm giving away free encouragement and not getting paid.
The testimonials is an amazing idea.
That is,
I'm
yes.
telling you, and I know I can get it from them. I got 5 of them right now that I know they will do that. I know they will, without a doubt. Because they've been telling me to start my business too. I just like, yeah. So I'm ready. I'm getting
Count
this.
me in. I'll write a testimonial.
Sure will. Sure will. And
Okay.
Carol helped me with that last week when I was talking to her. And I was, you know, I was telling her how I had the right to throat chop somebody, but I did not. And so we were just kind of talking through it. And then I was like, and then they be talking about stuff that I don't even want to talk about because I be telling you what to do, and then you don't do it. And then Carol was like, okay, the initial them coming to you and telling you the thing. All right, cool. Anything after that, go ahead and book an appointment. Book an appointment. And I said, you know what? I'm about to start doing that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's free, and sometimes they don't take it, and then they come back again. So if you
They
start
come back
charging,
again.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
uh-huh. It didn't stop. Today was it for it. Now done. I'm done. And for them because they don't pick it up. But I mean, I just did it just to be doing it because, like you, it's just a natural part of all
Natural
of us.
thing. Yeah.
But we got to get the income too because they would do the same thing if the tables were turned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I got to go back to my business once we sign off. Okay, thank you.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I feel like I wanted us to have more time to work on that.
Oh, this
And
was
if we
good.
want to do a part two, we could totally do a part two. But one thing I wanted to share with us before, because if your mind works like mine, when you see something, it may kind of woo 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 throw you off a little bit. So I put in that I wanted 3 tiers. I wanted to simplify it. Can y'all see my screen? It's little. Oh, how do I make it big? Let me see. Layout. Oh, the side by side. Okay, here we go. Boom. Is that better?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So I put it gave me some feedback because I think I had like maybe 5 tiers and it said to simplify it. So after the business plan it gave me, I went in and I said, this is great. Help me get started by simplifying my Patreon to 3 tiers only. And then it gave me the 3 tiers. And then it said what to stop offering. And this was like, whoa, okay, let me see what it had to say. Because I was thinking, okay, I could do a recipe here and there. And it said, avoid things like one recipe here, another recipe there. Then it said different talent challenges for different tiers, too many downloads, custom requests, daily posting obligations. Keep it simple and sustainable. Then it went down to a monthly content plan. One set of content, and each tier unlocks more of it. So I'm thinking, cool, because initially I'm like, okay, I got to create different things for the tiers. And it's like, no, here you get a recipe. The next tier, then you make an actual video of me making the recipe. The next tier, then you get a grocery shopping list to go with this recipe. And that just made it so much simple. And it made me
Mhm.
not get overwhelmed and like, okay, now I got
Mhm.
to create 3 different recipes for each tier. So that was super helpful. And then on the third tier, I wanted to incorporate life coaching. So then I put another one in here that said, edit tier 3 to include a life coaching session. So it's like we work together. Like I tell it, hey, I want this, and then it spits out ideas. And then if I say, okay, well, let me tweak it. So I said all that to say I don't want you to think that whatever it spits out is what you have to do because you are the captain of the whole
Mhm.
ship. So if you're like, oh, you know what, this is great, but I want to add this, you could add it, and it's not like something that you got to go and ball the piece of paper up as if like I would do old Angel, ball the whole piece of paper up, throw it away, and start from scratch. No, you just keep editing and get it to what you want it to look like. So I thought that was really helpful. And then one more thing, 2 minutes, I can do it. The initial, it gave me pricing for the tiers. And then for tier 3, the initial prices said 37. When I added the life coaching, it said one suggestion is increasing this to between 47 to 67 because a monthly coaching session alone is typically worth more than the price difference. A slightly higher price helps protect your time while keeping the tier sustainable as your membership grows. And I thought, whoa, that was nice. Then it said possible pricing structure could be, and then it gave me a price for it at what I could put it for. So this thing is just
Mhm.
really helpful. I just had to share my level of excitement because I'm like, this is so cool. And even because my whole thing was, well, I don't want to charge too much, or I want to be charging, what I'm worth and what I'm valued. But then also, like, just thinking about it from a business standpoint and not just passion alone, if that makes sense. Like blending the
Mhm.
two. It's like I have this passion, but I am also, because I am a business owner and I have
Yep.
all these products and services. So it was nice to be able to kind of like play around with that. And again, it's like that little switch just kind of went off and was like, you know what? Where I think it was Shanae that said it, like I'm undercutting myself. Like, how do I really maximize this thing? So please, please, please take all that
I
information,
love that. That was
play
excellent.
around with it. I do not want you to think, okay, well, we had this time. Again, I'm so sorry for not giving us that full hour because it's supposed to be a full hour for us to work. I feel like I gypped y'all.
Maybe that's a
I
part
think the
two.
30 was good. It
We,
was good.
And
yeah,
needed.
excellent.
Yay.
But I'm with Carol. We need a part two so we can come back and provide feedback
Yeah.
of what we're doing and then add on to what we already have.
Right.
I'm
And this is a
Can
down.
community for
we,
just that, to create that kind of incubator environment where we're all working on different things, but we're all coming together to really do it with support. So I'm really thankful for how you poured into where you needed to pour into and felt the room. When you read the room, you just give what's needed in that moment. So I appreciate
Yes.
that.
It was
Yeah.
much needed
Yay.
for me. I'm telling you, it was a kick in the butt that I really needed. So now I know I can do it. I just needed
Mm-hmm.
that. I needed to sisterhood. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I always say. If we would all connect as women and stop competing against each other and helping
Yes.
each other, this world would be strong. It
Mm-hmm.
really
Mhm.
would.
Sure
And
was.
and this is where it is right here. And we just got to get more women to feed in it. It's not a jealousy thing, it's helping each other
Yes.
because
Yeah.
all this information has helped me because I was like, I didn't know which way to go. Now I have a starting point.
Yeah.
So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I can get
Absolutely.
paid for it too. I'm looking at fees too. I'm going back in there now for that.
Okay.
Mhm.
There
Yes.
are so many more other women in our community that are in different
Yes.
layers of like advancement of this process. And so as we grow, some of them will come and circle back around and talk about where their
Mhm.
business is and how they work through some of the challenges that might be ahead of us. But I do want you to feel that sense of community, not just with who you see here today, but there is a larger community of women that are all in the same mindset of building something, creating something, because they have looked around, they have worked in different places, and they have not had their cup full. They have not been able to find the nourishment of connectivity in a new place where they settled down, and then found out it was so antithetical to their well-being, their mental health, their emotional and physical health, that they had to leave. And so they recognized that this is only way I'm going to find it is if I build it. And so that's kind of where we all are in that same space of building that thing that we need. I put a link into the chat real quick about for those of us who are praying and asking God for direction. There's this young lady I found across on TikTok. She just laid it out so beautifully. We sometimes look for God to do a thing and say, we kind of have a posture of like, oh God, just fix it, just fix it, just fix it. But in this area, in this time where we're moving into a business, he's saying, ask him for a strategy. Ask him for the strategy you need to get from where you are to the vision that he's given to you, because all of this is God given. When God says, I will give you power to make wealth, not a job to make money, although those are tools. He will give you power to make wealth. And wealth is a greater thing than just money. Wealth of your health and your strength, wealth of your community, wealth of, connectivity and resources. All those things are part of wealth. And he gives us the power, the vision to make things, to bring things into fruition so that we can access the wealth of life. And so I want us to think bigger than just a job. When you think bigger than just money, but think bigger than just the things that we think of when he gives us vision, is to take us to a larger level that includes and incorporates so many more things and people and places. And so that link, I want you to, connect to that and be encouraged by it, that when we're asking God for strategy, he's going to lay it out in front of us how to get there. The strategy that God gives us, the vision that God has put into us, and the gifts and talents, along with a business plan, unstoppable.
Amen.
Yeah.
Let's go get this money.
I
Let's do
am
it.
so excited. I have not
Mhm.
been excited. This has been a good week, and this just put the icing on the cake. Good
Mhm.
week. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ladies.
Angel, for your leadership.
Thank
Oh,
you, Angel.
Thank you,
Thank you
Angel. I
all.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you so much, and I'll be in touch with you because I'm gonna need a flyer. Okay.
gotcha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am.
Sure
Absolutely.
will.
And thank you, Carol, for this platform.
Thank you,
Thank
Yes.
you guys for being here.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
oh, yes, thank you.
All
And
right, we will have to get together and talk about plan two, plan part B.
Plan two, yes, because I was thinking, I don't know if we can give homework assignments, but like next time we meet, it would be nice to see like one thing that you were able to like kind of check off of your list, like one thing
I like
that you
that.
did to get the ball rolling that was from your plan.
okay,
Absolutely. I love that. That
gotcha.
sounds perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, ladies.
Well, we'll
Yay!
see y'all on July 25th is our next Saturday at the Mocha Cup.
Excellent.
Okay.
And we have a guest speaker.
I
Woo
may be
woo.
running a few minutes because we got a health fair at the church. That's why I need a flyer. But I'll be here. Okay. I will be
Okay.
on. I'm gotta go to the health fair to introduce myself. So yeah.
I think she's going to be
Awesome.
talking to us about her business as well.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
All
Thank you, ladies.
right. Call me if
Okay.
you have any
Bye.
questions or need anything. I am
Okay.
available.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you. Love
Love
you.
y'all.
you.
Bye.
Bye.